Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. It's not uncommon to feel burnt out or even a little melancholy this time of year. Here with easy changes we can make to help combat seasonal depression and stress, we welcome back Stanford University physician and mindfulness expert, Dr. Greg Hammer. And look at your teddy bear there. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see both of you.
Yeah, this is Yogi.
I feel better already. It's always
right.
nice to have somebody to cuddle up to. Okay, so let's talk about these seasonal changes that we just have to kind of admit they do impact us in a tough way sometimes.
Absolutely, Hannah. First, I would like to just draw a distinction between what people call SAD or seasonal affective disorder. That is a significant form of depression. It is seasonal, tends to occur at the same time of year, often in the winter. And that really is a form of depression, as I said, and I would really recommend that people get help for that. What we call the winter blues is really a milder form of this, and it doesn't generally interfere with our ability to function. And there are a number of causes, both physical and mental.
Do you think that we feel it a little bit extra this first week? I'm just thinking we just rolled those clocks back and it's so dark outside. I'm having a hard time adjusting.
Yes, it's true. Actually, the change from daylight savings time is often sort of undervalued in terms of its impact on us. There's actually there was a scientific publication years ago that showed that there's actually an increase in the incidence of heart attack, stroke, and automobile accidents the day after the time change. I think it's a little bit more prevalent in the spring, but also in the fall. So I do think that has an impact on us. It interferes with our sleep. So yes, and as you and I have discussed, sleep, exercise, and nutrition are so closely intertwined, and they are both, manifestations of the winter blues and point to some remedies as well.
Okay, so we've got not as much light outside, we're feeling the winter blues, and we often stay inside a little bit more, and that's also can have some negative impacts.
Correct. I think, it's a combination of not getting enough sunlight. Sunlight is so vital to our circadian rhythms. As many of us know, the blue light that's part of the sunlight spectrum is activating, and so it's recommended to open the blinds first thing in the morning, go out for a walk, get some sunlight, even if the hours are relatively restricted. Red light has effects on our skin and our mitochondria. Ultraviolet light has effects on our skin as well. And, it's the sort of science of the effects of light on our body is quite interesting. But I think the bottom line is we need sunlight. Sunlight is activating, sunlight elevates our mood, and we don't get enough of it. That certainly contributes to sadness.
Well, and all that being said, we kind of know some of these factors are working against us, so we can move into this beginning with non-judgment and saying, hey, I know this is a tough season. I need to give myself some grace and go from there.
Yes, absolutely. So I think the remedies for the winter blues are to focus on physical manifestations, including getting as much light as you can. Make sure that you focus on your sleep hygiene, get regular exercise, watch what you eat, because those things all tend to sag a little bit and they're interrelated. And then focusing on our mental health as well, which are, very much affected by the physical elements. But as you suggested, non-judgment is key. We tend to be very negatively, harshly judgmental of others, the world, and particularly ourselves. So when we're feeling down, we're maybe a little fatigued, we're not getting as much done as we'd like, we tend to really judge ourselves. And so, as we've discussed in the past, having a mindfulness practice by virtue of which we can learn to drop judgments toward others, toward the world, and especially toward ourselves is extremely helpful.
Will you remind us of your gain practice? Because this is a really quick thing that we can do every day. It's a great starting point if you only have a few minutes.
Sure. The gain practice is simply a matter of getting up, opening the blinds, doing one's morning hygiene, and then finding a comfortable place to sit. Spend 30 seconds or so focusing on slow, deep, deliberate breathing. That activates our vagus nerve and parasympathetic nervous system, calms us down, lowers our heart rate and blood pressure. And then we just go through a brief self-guided tour of the elements of gain: gratitude, acceptance, intention, and non-judgment, starting with that for which we're grateful. We all have much for which to be grateful. So in the winter, when we're feeling a little bit down, maybe the festivities are over and there's a little bit of a depression after that, let's remind ourselves during this practice that we have so much for which to be grateful. Our relative health, loved ones, etc. We transition to the A, which is acceptance, and that includes accepting ourselves when we feel a bit sad at times. So that's connected to non-judgment, but it's a little bit different. We need to accept things that are unpleasant that we can't change. We transition to the I in gain, which is intention. We remind ourselves to be purposeful about our physical habits, our thoughts, and we then go to the N in gain, non-judgment. And, we may picture an image of the Earth as we breathe slowly and deliberately, one of these beautiful NASA images, and remind ourselves that the Earth is lovely, but it's neither good nor bad. And we too are just people. We're neither good nor bad. We're just the human being that we are. And we can accept things and drop the judgments of ourselves, and then return the focus to this slow, deep, deliberate breathing. All of this generally with our eyes closed, and then we're ready to open our eyes and go out into the day.
I feel better already just seeing you and Yogi today. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Oh, such a pleasure, Hannah. Anytime.
We'll see you again soon. We'll have more information about Dr. Hammer on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.